and the assistant coach for Brisbane Roar joins us. Luch, I guess, first of all, how did you see that game unfold? Was it heartbreak at that 85th minute?
It's one of those things where this type of encounter is always going to leave it right down to the last minute, and I think it's just one of those games where both teams are capable of doing it. It was hard-fought a draw. We were disappointed that we sort of thought we were going to hold out, but again, we would have liked to have played a little bit more, especially being pinned back normally is not our trait. We'd like to sort of play in the attacking half a lot more, but to West Sydney's credit, they played well tonight, and I think a lot of credit goes to their performance.
And what is it about you guys and your away games this season as well? It's something like 19 points have come from away games. It's a phenomenal record. What is it about the team this year that you're able to, I guess, maybe come away with such valuable points away?
I think it's quality time spent, even, a couple of days away in camp, and boys get to really sort of focus a lot more, and I think the detail of information that we do give them right across, those 2 days is a lot more solid, but also, the team that's sort of got together and the belief in the camp now to win games away from home is what it's all about, especially if you want to win championships. We're great at home, that's great, but if you want to go to that step further, you've got to start getting points away from home, and we're doing that, and we need to do that even more now, given that there's obviously 10 games to go, and we've got a nice little break, but we want to make sure that we can continue on that form.
Nice luxury 6 of those are at home, I understand.
Yes, well, we enjoy the moment, because we've done the bulk of the work away from home in the earlier part of the season. So it puts us in a very good position to obviously enjoy the moment, to play in our own supporters who are very supportive of what we do, and the boys are a lot more confident. And I'm sure that this will set us up for, hopefully, a very good finish.
Just in terms of tonight's game, would you be more pleased with your defence or attack tonight?
Definitely our defence. West Sydney fancied themselves, especially playing home. They forced the issue. They really put a lot more pressure. They, took a few more options by getting numbers forward, which obviously made our players in midfield accountable to make sure they had to run a lot more, work a lot harder across the pitch. And so we had to really make it, an extra focus and concentration on that level. And I think in the end, that's what it's really given us the point, because if we switched off at any point, I think we might have lost the game, but they were resilient, and I think that's what gave us the point in the end.
A lot of whistle tonight as well. I think there was 27 infringements in the first half, so it seems to be a lot of flow was sort of disjointed with the whistle, but correct. In terms of the play, it was quick kicks taken, so it looked. Did that look messy from where you were sitting?
No, because they knew that if they were going to give us space, we were going to play, and we knew that we wanted to stop them from playing a game that if they start getting 5-6 passes, they'll create a chance. So both teams were really focused on not giving too much away, and I think that's where the real sort of reinforcement of getting tight, don't give your direct opponent any space. So that's why I think both tussles around the pitch was that close that infringements were occurring because of the effort, and I think we got to expect it, but I thought in the second half, I think the referee let it go a little bit, not as many, and so we saw maybe a lot longer in possession where teams had maybe a lot more of the ball, and hence, again, I thought West Sydney had a little bit more in the second half.
And just in terms of your game coming into tonight's game, a lot of talk around if you'd secured the 3 points, you'd be pretty much one hand on that trophy for the minor premiership. How are you keeping a lid on that, considering so many games to go, but each game now, that's especially when you're playing number 2, that's what's in front of you guys?
The A-League, it is just one of those competitions where it's even, and when you think you're on a winner, it'll just, you get surprised by an unexpected result because everyone's expecting you to consistently do, put in the performances you have, but unfortunately the competition's even. You might miss a few players, they might gain a few, and that's where it does balance itself out, and the competition starts to get a lot tighter towards the end because everyone has worked themselves out. They know what it takes, and everyone's looking at that little extra. But it gets down to the point where it's evenly matched in terms of personnel, in terms of football. The competition's getting better, and it just, I think it's a credit to the teams that are preparing themselves a lot better and making it very difficult to expose oppositions easily now. And I think it's the way the game should be, and it keeps us fans, media, coaches on our toes, and that's the way it should be.
Making your life harder, no doubt. But just on the fans, you still haven't had a win here at Parramatta Stadium, but when you come to a stadium tonight like this and you see these fans, what's it like to be the opposition here at Parramatta Stadium with such a phenomenal crowd?
Well, last year came here 3 times and lost. So to come down here first time this year and get a result, for us, that's a positive. So I think, yes, it's daunting. We've got to expect it. I mean, they've obviously are going to make this a fortress. The support that they get obviously creates that intense sort of apply the football approach to them. And for us, we need to match it. And if we can match that, then we can take that away for next week and know that we've really been tested, and our football standards and a level of preparation will only get better because of the intensity.
Finally, next week, Newcastle Jets at home. What will you do between now and then? Any sore bodies from tonight do you have to look after?
Well, it's a lot better this time because it was a short turnaround last week with 5 days. Previous week we had 9, and we'll end up having that 9-day turnaround. So we'll prepare with a little bit more time and hopefully have the boys ready to go with a full approach against Newcastle. And that would be our bonus game because West Sydney don't play next week. So this is a real opportunity to take hopefully with a good win, puts us in a very good position.
Well, we appreciate your time tonight, and thank you very much from ABC Grandstand.
You're welcome.